Hello and good morning to you. It's Phil Thatch, and behind me there is the Chickamauga Dam, and I'm hanging around here on the rocks near the Chickamauga Dam observing the birds that are flying around here. And today I'm making photos with the Nikon Z5II and the 180 to 600. I haven't gotten my 180 to 600 lens out in a while, and I thought I would come down here with the Z5II and the 180 to 600 and see if I can get some shots. I started out working on Great Blue Heron, really up close shots in almost no light. It's bright now compared to when I first got here this morning. So let's take a look at some really low shutter speed Great Blue Heron shots. Here's the first shot of the morning, and this was on top of the fishing pier. There was a Great Blue Heron up there on the railing, so I said, if I go up here slowly, I can probably get pretty close to this guy. And you can tell there's not much light just by looking at the Great Blue Heron's pupil. Look how huge it is. Let's take a look at the settings. This is 600 millimeters f8. I like f8 with the Nikon 180 to 600 lens. I think it's a little bit sharper at f8. It's pretty sharp wide open, but it's a little sharper in my opinion. Stop down to f8. And look at my shutter speed, 1/125th of a second. Super slow, and this is handheld. I'm using automatic ISO, and the ISO landed at 1800 on this one. Here's a closer shot of the same bird there on the handrail of the fishing pier, and you can see how big the pupil is once again. And then also the wind blew a little bit, and these feathers that curl around the back of its neck here are blurry because they're wiggling around in the breeze. And the settings on this one is 440 millimeters. I've gotten closer and zoomed back some. 1/125th of a second, f8, and the ISO landed at 1400. Now I've gotten off of the fishing pier and I'm sitting on the rocks and the sidewalk area. And here's another Great Blue Heron. It's got some, I don't know if it got something sticky on it or if it's just wet right here, but it's got an ugly place on its neck. Still have the giant pupils. Let's check the settings. 1/125th of a second, 380 millimeters, f8, and the ISO landed at 1800. There's a lot of osprey flying around here, but there's no light. So it's really hard to get an in-flight shot when there's almost no light. But at some crazy high ISOs, I did bag a couple. I was working on Great Blue Heron pictures and I heard a splash and I looked over, and right by the dam, this osprey had landed in the water and caught itself a fish. And I just took the rear dial on the Z5 and spun it. I didn't even look where it landed, but I knew I needed a lot more shutter speed. And I ended up at 1/1600th of a second. And it was enough to freeze the bird as it was coming out of the water with this beautiful fish. You can see water drops coming off of it. And I love these two guys fishing right by the dam. One guy's not paying attention at all, but the other guy's scratching his head going, man, I wish I could fish like that. So there is the first shot of this bird pulling this fish out of the Tennessee River. The settings are 1/1600th of a second. That's where I just landed. I didn't specifically say, hey, I'm going to shoot 1/1600th of a second. I just spun the shutter speed dial because I knew I needed more speed. I'm still at f8, and look at this ISO, 18,000 ISO. And of course, this and all of my photographs have been run through Topaz Denoise AI. It's a no longer supported program. They have other programs now, but I have Topaz Denoise AI paid for, and I still like the way it works. And it really got rid of the noise in this shot and left some nice sharpness. Here's another shot in that sequence. The guy's still scratching his head as the awesome osprey flies by with its catch. Still has water droplets dripping off of it right beside the huge Chickamauga Dam there on the Tennessee River. And these areas in the background, this is where the water comes out after it goes through the turbines. And that is where it occasionally churns up some fish. And I think the osprey were perched above it and waiting for stunned fish to come out for an easy catch. The settings on this one, I'm still at 1/1600th of a second, but auto ISO landed at 16,000 this time instead of 18,000. Here's another shot in that same flyby. The fishermen are no longer in the shot as the osprey gains altitude. Really happy with all of these. This one's back to 18,000 on the ISO. Otherwise, the settings are completely the same. And here is another one. Really happy with this, so I shared lots of photographs from this. I was shooting mechanical shutter at the fastest rate, which I believe is 10 frames per second. You can go faster than that with electric shutter, but I think I would have had some rolling shutter problems. So I used mechanical shutter today, and I'm really happy that I did. This one is 18,000 ISO and the same settings otherwise. This is the last shot that I decided to share with you from this Osprey catch. And the bird's a little bit closer to me now, and it's out from behind the shadow of the dam. Of course, it's not in direct sunlight because it's 100% overcast, but there is more light on the bird, and that leaves me with ISO 7200. Otherwise, the settings are the same, 600 millimeters f8 and 1/1600th of a second. This great blue heron said, "Hello, Mr. Osprey. You're not the only one who can catch a fish. I believe that's a crappie that it has caught." And it was really dragging the front of the bird down. Usually the bird's not leaning down like that when it flies. The settings on this one is 1/1250th. I had a little slower shutter speed on this, f8 and 2800 ISO. This is a 600 millimeter shot. And here's another shot in that flyby, and you can see this splash in the water is where on the previous flap, the wingtip actually dragged into the water, but he's starting to get some altitude now, flying with the crappie. This is the same settings, 1/1250th, f8, and ISO 2800. Here's another great blue heron there on the bank of the Tennessee River, and it looks like it's just about to pounce on a fish. I like this pose with the wings all kind of in an interesting position. And the settings is 1/1250th of a second, f8, ISO 5600, and I've zoomed the 180 to 600 all the way back to 240 millimeters on this one. So this bird was pretty close to me. Here's another shot of that same bird with a really cool pose, I thought. The settings on this one is 1/1250th, f8, 5000 ISO, and this one's 260 millimeters. There's also been some common grackle hopping around on the rocks on the shore here of the Tennessee River. And I think I might have got a shot or two that's acceptable of one of those. Here's a common grackle that hopped on the rocks right beside me there at the Chickamauga Dam and Tennessee River. Look at those amazing eyes. This one is 600 millimeters f8. I've got my shutter speed at 1/500th of a second for this one, and the ISO landed at 5000. Here's another shot of that same common grackle, but on a completely different perch. And the settings on this one is 470 millimeters, 1/500th of a second, f8, and 5000 ISO. Here's one last shot of that common grackle, and you can see some motion blur in its foot. It didn't stay still long. I took a lot of shots of him, but most of the shots had motion blur, even though I was at 1/500th of a second. This is another shot at 470 millimeters, f8, and 5000 ISO. I really like the detail in the eye and the feathers on the head in this particular shot. I bagged this shot of a double-crested cormorant coming in for a landing there on the Tennessee River, and I believe that's a swallow of some sort there in the background. The settings on this one is 1/1250th of a second, f8, 5600 ISO, and 600 millimeters. And look, another osprey has flown down and caught another stunned fish as it's coming out of the turbines there at the Chickamauga Dam. May even be the same osprey, but I don't think so. There were 5 or 6 flying around. The settings on this one is 1/1250th, f8, and I'm back up to crazy ISOs. This one is 16,000 and 600 millimeters. And again, these photos have been run through Topaz Denoise AI. And once again, the osprey is flying past these 2 fishermen there in their boat. This time, they're not paying attention at all, but I thought it was fun that it flew by the same 2 guys as the other bird did. This one's 1/1250th, f8. We're back up to 18,000 ISO, and this is 600 millimeters. Here's a black vulture that landed fairly near me there on the bank. I don't know what this is on its head. It looks like it has some material of some sort, some thread or something caught on top of its head. I made this shot at 600 millimeters. The bottom of the bird was blocked, so I just zoomed in and made a head and shoulder shot. f8, 1/1250th of a second, and this one's 12,800 ISO. Now the bird's moved to a position where I could see the entire bird, so I concentrated a little bit more and got another shot of the beautiful black vulture with some sort of material on top of its head. By this time I've realized, hey, I don't need fast shutter speed for this bird that's not in flight, so I slowed my shutter speed down to 1/200th, and I've backed my focal length back to 350 millimeters so I could get the whole bird in the shot. I'm still at f8, and my ISO's down to 1250. Then a couple of great blue herons ended up on the sidewalk fairly close to me, and I made a photograph of the closest one with the one in the background completely out of focus, even at f8. This is 250 millimeters, f8, 1/200th of a second, and the ISO landed at 1,100. This is that same great blue heron that was the closer of the two birds in that shot previous, and now it's hopped down onto a rock down from the sidewalk, and it looks like it's trying to catch its balance. I like the way its feathers and wings are all over the place. This one's 240 millimeters, 1/200th of a second, f8, 1250 ISO. Now here's a different great blue heron that's flying in for a landing. You can see very out of focus downstream is a fisherman standing in the shallow waters on the side of the Tennessee River. But mostly this shot is about the great blue heron coming in for a landing. This one's 600 millimeters, f8, 1/1250th of a second, and the ISO landed at 4,500. Here's another great blue heron. This one's caught a small fish, and it is flying back towards the shore. It looks like it flew over, landed in the water, caught the fish, and now is taking off and flying back to the shore. This one's 1/1250th of a second, f8, and only 2,000 ISO on this 600 millimeter shot. Here's another great blue heron who has flown over and caught a fish and is taking off out of the water, just like that previous one did. This one's 600 millimeters, f8, 1/1250th of a second, and 2,800 ISO. Here's a double-crested cormorant that's flying by, and I made some shots of it as it flew by, and I probably wouldn't have shared any of the shots of the double-crested cormorant flying by, except I thought it was fun that this one flew by those same two guys in the fishing boat. This time they're a little further downstream instead of right by the dam, but it's definitely the same two guys making their way into another one of my bird photography shots. This one's 600 millimeters, f8, 1/1250th of a second, and 7,200 ISO. I had to scramble down the rocks instead of sitting on the sidewalk for this one so I could get this angle. And it's one great blue heron standing on a rock and another great blue heron waiting behind it. And they're both doing some fishing. My regret about this is I couldn't get back far enough to make it a 16:9, so I've got black bars on the sides of your screen. But that just means this photo hasn't been cropped at all. And this is 180 millimeters on the 180 to 600, f8, 1/1250th of a second, and 8,000 ISO. Probably should have used a slower shutter speed for this perched bird. Here's a close-up shot of that same bird, and I'm at 600 millimeters now, f8, and I did slow my shutter speed down to 1/320th. ISO landed at 2,500. I like the way the trees in the background on the other side of the river and have a line, and now there's the water reflecting the sky. I think that looks nice. Here's a great blue heron in flight, and that is the new Chickamauga lock that's being built on the other side of the river. This brownish area is the coffer dam that they built, and it was the only thing that was there for a long time, but now the huge lock is rising, and here is a great blue heron flying past it. This one is 600 millimeters, f8, 1/1000th of a second, and the ISO landed at 5,600. It's another great blue heron with something man-made in the background. This is a huge, huge crane that they're using to help put together that lock, and I thought it looked really cool in the background. These bokeh-fied lights on the crane look good, and the bird looks nice flying by. This one's 600 millimeters, f8, 1/1000th of a second, and the ISO landed at 1,800. It's another great blue heron with the Chickamauga lock in the background. This time the bird's much closer to me, and the lock is still a long way away, the same distance, but the bird's closer, so it's bigger in the frame. And I really like the way this turned out. I love the little glint in the bird's eye, and everything looks just beautiful in this. This one's 320 millimeters, f8, 1/1600th of a second, and the ISO is 4,000 on this one. The little road that leads down from Amicola Highway to the tailwaters of the dam is lined with birdhouses, and a lot of times there are tree swallows there, but I didn't see any tree swallows on any of the houses. So I had already made my goodbye clip that you haven't seen yet and was leaving, and as I was on the way out, the one really right next to the highway behind me, right on this notice firearms and alcoholic beverages prohibited sign, on the post for the sign is another birdhouse, and it is loaded with tree swallows. So I stopped for just a minute and made some tree swallow shots on top of this sign. Let's see if any of those turned out any good. Here's the first shot of some tree swallows on that sign that I showed you in the video clip just a moment ago. Got the first one in focus, and the one in the background is completely out of focus. even though I'm at f8. This is 600 millimeters, 1/320th of a second, and 3200 ISO. Here's another shot of those same two birds on that same perch. This is the first time this year that I've photographed tree swallows. Usually I go down to the dam much earlier in the year than late May, but I waited for some reason this time and I almost missed them. This one's also 1/320th of a second, f8, and 3600 ISO. Couple more tree swallows on the sign. This time they're on a completely different area of the sign, so I have the whole top of the sign in the shot. And I caught this one looking at me and the other one looking away. This one's 1/320th of a second, f8, 3200 ISO, and all of these tree swallow shots are at 600 millimeters. When I got done working on the tree swallow shots down there by that sign, I was turning my car around right by this thicket and I heard a white-eyed vireo. So I said, well, I got to try to get a shot of that. And I might have gotten a shot of it, maybe not. If I did, it's super tiny in the frame. And then I got back in the car again and I was trying to turn around. And right here on this yellow signpost by the stop sign there was an eastern kingbird. And I think I got a shot of it. So if so, let's take a look at those. I ended up getting a better shot of the white-eyed vireo than I thought I did. It's definitely small in the frame and very far away, but it looks really good, I thought. And this one is 600 millimeters f8, 1/250th of a second. ISO landed at 2000. And here's the white-eyed vireo singing on a different perch. Still came out pretty nice, I thought. And this is 600 millimeters f8, 1/250th of a second, and 500 ISO. This is the first eastern kingbird I've made a photograph of this year, and I got two photographs of it here on this signpost, both with the exact same settings. This one, he's turned around and looking right at me. Most of the shots I got of the bird, it was looking in the opposite direction, but I got this one looking right at me, and this one where I can see the side of its head, and at least it's not looking away from me. And both of these are 1/250th of a second, f8, ISO 720, and both shots were all the way racked out at 600 millimeters. It's great to see an eastern kingbird. Well, that was a lot of fun hanging out here at the Chickamauga Dam and using the Nikon Z5II and the 180-600. You know, I came here really just to get some close-up shots of great blue heron. I really had no intention of trying birds in flight, but I think I ended up getting a lot of birds in flight. So I don't know, you've already seen the pictures. Hopefully I did. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you liked it, hit thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. And I hope to see you in my next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.